Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now, December 7, 2025, to talk about the dungeon, the most hidden place in Nicolas Maduro's regime, the SEBIN headquarters, the place where everything happens and nothing is told. Welcome to Military Strategies. Let's start. Good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live right now from the SEBIN headquarters in Venezuela.
Hola.
A dark place, a sinister place. Nicolas Maduro's dungeon, tonight uncovered here on Military Strategies. Precisely.
Mente,
The day when yet another victim, Alfredo, has died. Has once again fallen victim to that sinister place. Place that awakens trembling and fear. Just by being mentioned, Alfredo Diaz, former mayor of Margarita Island, who joins a list of more than 7 kidnapped people who have died in custody since July 28, 2024. The elections in Venezuela. It's a real shame what's happening in Venezuela, what's going on. The harm that's being done to humanity with this, and that the world is looking the other way. This is the reason why the struggle of Venezuelans is not just for Venezuela, but for the whole planet as well. Places like the one we're going to talk about today, the Helicoide, a sinister place with an incredible history, should not exist on our planet. This place you see, this building constructed in Caracas, was supposed to be a shopping mall where people would have fun and enjoy themselves. It is currently the headquarters of Nicolas Maduro's Bolivarian intelligence service. A place where you know when you go in, but you never know when you'll come out, and you also don't know if you'll come out alive. Surviving this place is the closest thing to a miracle. That's right, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. We have a lot of information tonight, a lot of documents, a lot of substance the Nicolas Maduro regime prefers we not mention. That's why they want to shut down this program. And now I can also say it with certainty. They've put a target on us. They're coming after us. But I'm not afraid at all. We prefer to live standing tall than on our knees. Isn't that right? Please, your likes are super important. And you also have the comments in the chat. It's super important to share this live stream tonight because this hasn't been discussed before in the Spanish-speaking community. About what we're going to talk about, what we're going to share today, and it's everything related to the current situation. About all the political prisoners in Venezuela, those who have been kidnapped, and people who deserve to see freedom and be with their families. It's something unbelievable. It really is unbelievable, and it's something we have to denounce over and over again. We also have breaking news on the aircraft carrier. People were saying and talking about the aircraft carrier.
pues,
Ford was going to leave. In the Caribbean Sea, bad news for all of them. The United States ship Gerald Ford is not leaving the Caribbean Sea, quite the opposite. The United States ship Gerald Ford just set sail a few hours ago from the island of San Tomás. As we said would happen, we did some research.
acción,
We tried to do something different to find out when the aircraft carrier was going to leave, and we weren't wrong. We weren't wrong. When we give information, it's because we're sure, because we know something is happening. We're accused of selling smoke, but no one has provided proof. We don't know when the attack will begin. We don't know. if there will be an attack or not. But we do know that everything seems to indicate that Venezuela will be liberated one way or another, with or without an attack. Hopefully, that when it happens, there will be the greatest number of people freed from Nicolas Maduro's life-threatening dungeons. Seeing what has happened today, it's hard to say. Today's topic is a serious one, a very, very serious topic. Statement from Maria Corina Machado and Edmundo Gonzalez. We're going to put it here on the screen, and now we'll get into the subject. Here is the official statement about the death of Alfredo Diaz while in custody of the Maduro regime. We are deeply dismayed by the news of Alfredo Diaz's passing, former governor of Nueva Esparta, who was being held at the headquarters of the Bolivarian National Intelligence Service, SEBIN. Also known as the Helicoide, Alfredo was under custody. The regime of Nicolas Maduro? His safety and his life were the sole responsibility of those who were arbitrarily holding him captive in a facility that has been widely denounced by international organizations as a systematic center for torture and other human rights violations. Therefore, this cannot be treated as an ordinary death. It is a crime under the responsibility of the regime. Alfredo's death isn't an isolated case. Unfortunately, it adds to an alarming and painful chain of deaths of political prisoners detained in the context of the post-election repression of July 28. Despite repeated warnings from the United Nations, the Independent International Fact-Finding Mission, and the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights, the regime continues to violate human rights, taking the lives of innocent Venezuelans. With Alfredo, that's 7. This is unbelievable. Pay attention to this. Let's put it here so we can see it better. Those kidnapped who died in custody after July 28th. July 24th. Stay with Santos, Jesus Martinez, Lindomar, Amaro, Jesus Rafael Alvarez, Osvaldo Gonzalez, Reinaldo Araújo, Alfredo Dias. Blessed be their memory, may they rest in peace, I add. These deaths involving denial of medical care, inhuman conditions, isolation, torture, and cruel treatment show a persistent pattern of state repression. The prison security system has been used as a tool to persecute, punish, and break those who think differently. To his wife, Lenin's, and his children, family, friends, fellow members of Acción Democrática, and to all the people of Nueva Esparta, we send our deepest condolences and solidarity. This moment of pain, his loss hurts and outrages us all. Let it be clear, we will record every omission and responsibility. There will be no impunity. Justice will come for Alfredo and all victims of this tragedy. Signed, Edmundo Gonzalez Urrutia and Maria Corina Machado. The new topic. The same guy who's been dancing on stages for 2 weeks, laughing, making fun of his own people. And Donald Trump has set up a gigantic dungeon in Caracas. A sinister, horrible place. We're going to see it tonight. We're going to go. We have to go. We have to go in to see that. Let's go to the map. Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, a city that once lived its golden age and is now plunged into darkness. In a place from which you can see almost the entire city, or at least a large part of it. In the middle of a mountain that was cut to make what you're seeing, there stands this building. An incredible building. It looks like it's from another era, from another world. The Helicoide, a place that was going to be a shopping mall, as I said, the envy of all of Latin America, of all of Hispanic America. But due to the economic crisis that all these people brought upon Venezuela, it ended up becoming the headquarters of the Venezuelan intelligence service, the SEBIN. In this place is where there are political prisoners at this moment.
So,
You already know what to do to them. It has multiple entrances, a bunker area, and tunnels. According to the information I have been able to verify, notice usually it even shines with Christmas lights. I saw a recent photo, and it's a place that isn't talked about much. Taking photos or recording video there means you'll immediately be arrested and never seen again. The regime is extremely careful
Simo.
about everything that happens inside this place. Its entrance, the main entrance, is the main road, the one that goes around the building. You have to go up a slope. This one here, the convoy enters through this area right here. And inside, this is where everything happens. That wine. Bolivarian Intelligence Service. What is it? Well, it's the method that Nicolas Maduro's dictatorship uses for repression, to imprison dissidents. And so they never see the light of day again. It's the way to torture them. Extract information and forced confessions. It's terrible because this place, if there were any military operation, would definitely be one of the places you wouldn't want to live near. Do you remember our recent conversations? Places where it's better not to be? When this starts, the Helicoide is the place described for that. Take a look at some facts. And this is something outrageous. Women and men have been imprisoned in that place. This is their creation. Built in the 1950s during Marcos Pérez Jiménez's dictatorship as a luxury shopping center. It gives its name a helical shape with 300 stores, a hotel, a heliport, parking, and a movie theater. It was never completed. In the 70s and 80s, it was occupied by families as emergency housing. In 1984, it came under the control of the Venezuelan intelligence service, Servicio de Inteligencia Policial, and later it was renamed SEBIN. Since then, many planned areas, such as shops, offices, or administrative zones, have been converted into cells, detention offices, and interrogation spaces. There are hundreds of testimonies from people who have been imprisoned there in which they explain and describe everything that happens inside this place. Currently, it is the headquarters of the Venezuelan State Intelligence and Security Agency, and it is also a detention center for political prisoners. Overcrowding, lack of water or electricity, presence of insects, vermin, poor sanitary conditions, physical and psychological abuse, isolation, and other abuses. According to reports from human rights organizations, many inmates are political prisoners. Activists and opposition members, opponents of Nicolas Maduro's regime. Here we see the Seville convoy, the famous motorcycles with the guys dressed in black who go out into the streets looking for victims. There are also detainees accused of common crimes or drug trafficking. The kinds of torture described inside this place are unbelievable. Stress, overdose of light, not allowing sleep, beatings, and things I can't talk about. Due to platform issues, the complaints also include medical negligence, systematic mistreatment, overcrowding, lack of hygiene, poor nutrition, and there are no doctors. NGOs without international organizations have drawn attention to the situation at the Helicoide, considering it a symbol of repression. This is incredible. I don't know what you're thinking right now, but it's amazing. What did he say? What did Nicolas say? What has Nicolas Maduro said about this? Well, Maria Corina and Edmundo have given a full statement about the letter, the one we were looking at. The regime also has its letter. Here it is. Official document from the government of Venezuela. I don't put anything that hasn't been verified. This is what they say has happened. We're going to see it now here on Military Strategies. Please, it's super important. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. We'll discuss the military later. Next, we'll cover planes, current events, future developments, and aircraft carriers. But this is serious. I ask you, please pay attention to this because it's serious. We have to realize something key. The lives of the political prisoners are running out of time. They don't have time. There is no time. And we have to report them. We all have to share this live stream so it reaches the people it needs to reach. And put an end to this once and for all. Ministry of Prison Services. I think this depends on Delcy. I think it's Delcy, the little cylinder, the one they want to put as Maduro's legacy, the one responsible for all these things. Imagine. The Ministry of Popular Power for the Penitentiary Service, upholding transparency and the duty to inform citizens. It regrets and announces the death of citizen Alfredo Javier Diaz, 56 years old, who was deprived of liberty at the Center for Processed, Sentenced, and Female Annex of the metropolitan area of Caracas. He was being processed with full guarantee of his rights, in accordance with the legal system and respect for human rights in his legal defense, as evidenced by videos and corresponding records. No political prisoner has guarantees of rights anywhere. The regime is afraid of these things, of international scandals, because they know it's not good for them. On December 6, 2025, at approximately 6:33, Alfredo Javier Diaz showed symptoms of a myocardial infarction and was helped by fellow inmates. The emergency was handled immediately. He was attended to, and the teacher wrote it down incorrectly. He was attended to by the emergency service, the on-call emergency physician, and the paramedic of that unit, who provided him with primary medical care. Due to his health, he was transferred to the University Clinical Hospital and admitted. But despite efforts to stabilize him, he died a few minutes later. We offer our deepest condolences to his family, loved ones, and friends after this unfortunate event. Caracas, December 6, 2025. This is a mockery. The final part is a complete mockery. In light of this unfortunate event, we extend our sincerest condolences to his family, loved ones, and friends. The same people who imprisoned him, tortured him, and have finished him off like everyone else. Like the entire long list of victims of the regime. This is like Sednaya in Syria. It's the same as Sednaya. It's the same place. Places of extermination of human beings in Venezuela in 2025. Friendship. It moves me a lot. It hurts me. This is the place. Ceremony of the new 7 cadets. It's incredible, right in the center of Caracas. It's an amazing thing that even today, something like this exists. It's not the only one. It's not the only one. There are a lot of them, right? Places like this, there are a lot of places like this. It's an amazing thing. What we're experiencing, what we're seeing, it can't be. It can't be. So, Marco Rubio, please note this and explain it to Donald Trump. If he wants to save lives, it has to be done. We must do this to save Venezuelan lives. There's no other way. All right, we'll leave this topic here. I'll send it. Honestly, we truly send a sincere hug to Alfredo's family and to all those who are suffering from this. May you rest, Father. We'll leave that topic here. Argentine family.
Tina.
There are the F-16s. The left is furious because Argentina has bought some F-16 fighter jets, regaining supersonic capability, regaining control of its skies. They're saying the planes are old from the 1980s. Well, up and down, look at that plane you're seeing there. Is it lucky or fortunate to be the most built combat plane in the history of this planet? It has the great fortune of being the weapon that was born to free the world from tyranny during the Cold War against communism. And that plane is capable of putting in check more than one modern air force. Those calling this outdated, useless, or just a plane have no idea. It's the main aircraft chosen by the United States Air Force to protect its skies. It's a platform that can be developed and is being developed. In fact, the version with the midlife upgrade, is a revision to give this aircraft more life and flight hours, to add more technology,
Yeah.
and it's the first phase. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
After the F-16, more will follow. Congrats to Argentina on restoring its air defense capability. And in what way? It's a real honor to be part of that F-16 club. And also now this plane has to defend the skies and seas of Argentina. Because there's a silent fleet that's plundering the fishing grounds of Argentina,
Tina.
of all South America, China. The game is over. I'll leave it at that. Ships will arrive. Planes will arrive. Milei is taking back his country, taking it back. He has to take it back, and that's what he's doing. Next, let's discuss aircraft carriers. Let's change the map. Actually, we're staying on this one. We're staying on the same map. Today is a strange day. There was a protest for Venezuela in many places around the world. There was an important demonstration. Congratulations to all the participants. One more step. We have to keep insisting on this. Today there wasn't. My friends from Guarimba rested today. Are they missed? Mari Gaston, you are missed, just so you know. People miss you. And I wasn't planning on doing a live stream, but I saw comments, strategies for live streams. So, well, let's do a live stream. Let's talk about what's happening today because it's important. San Tomas Island. United States ship Gerald Ford aircraft carrier was here. Military strategies, he said. By the weekend, it's going to leave. It's leaving on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, it's leaving. At dawn on Saturday, it will be gone. How did we know it left Saturday? Something very simple. But I noticed that detail. It's about seeking information, not just reading news from other sites. Checking the hotel capacity in Santa Mas, the hotels, what dates were available. All the rooms were booked until Saturday, and there were also cancellations on Friday, which caused the price of many rooms to drop. If the Marines and sailors from the United States ship Gerald Ford were on the island enjoying a few days of vacation, the hotels were abandoned. Does that mean that they'd go back to the ship and leave? We said it here, do you remember, right? Well, it happened. The aircraft carrier has left. It's set course south, west, or east, not east. Let's explain it to the unfortunate people of Nicolas Maduro's regime, that east is to the right and west is to the left. As we are looking at the map, I don't know if I should draw you a line so you can understand. He hasn't left the Caribbean Sea. He's gone back to the Caribbean Sea. Now let's see if what I said happens. Let's see if what has to happen happens. Which might happen. Maybe. We get the good news sooner than we think. He confirmed he hasn't left Maria Corina, but he actually has. The Nobel Peace Prize group confirmed Maria Corina will attend. That Maria Corina is going to be there. Is she going to leave Venezuela? Is she not going to leave Venezuela? Is she going to enter or not? We don't know. I insist on this. We don't know. Does Maria Corina need to leave Venezuela? Is that a good idea or not? Honestly, this is a very personal topic for me. There are people who say she shouldn't leave Venezuela unless she's freed, and there are people who say she should, that she has to go receive the Nobel Peace Prize and denounce what's happening in Venezuela. There are different opinions. Which one do you think? I want to know your opinion here in the comments. By the way, where are you connecting from tonight? Please tell us where you are connecting from tonight. On military strategies? Around 18,000 people. We're missing a lot of likes. Only 5,000 likes. Please leave us your likes. They're free. We don't ask for more. Thank you for the super chats and also to those of you who are giving your financial support. Independent project. We don't get paid by Maria Corina or the United States or Israel or anyone here. We're independent, so we can say whatever we want. I want to analyze the Maria Corina topic. The gala is on the 10th, today is the 7th. There's enough time to carry out a military operation? There's time to launch a military operation? There's enough time. It's going to happen. I have my doubts that it will happen. In this time frame in which Maria Corina is going to Oslo, but I think Oslo can be a good place to make it clear. All the media are going to be paying attention to what's happening there. In Oslo, they're going to be watching. Maria Corina's words are clear. Edmundo will be there and has confirmed his attendance. And other world leaders? We don't know anything about Donald Trump. We don't know anything. No. It could happen. That it could be found. Valguin. Terkana Donald Trump. A certain Marco Rubio could also happen. Because this topic is important. Right now. The situation is critical. Time is short, act now.
Es ahora.
And everything is ready. Donald Trump wants to do it, but he wants to do it with the guarantees that must be given to him. And the opposition has to be firm, strong, and stable. As I said yesterday, I'll repeat, nothing will be attacked here unless the opposition is ready. If the government is not ready. You've written to me saying there's a plan, that it's written brilliantly, but there are more things that you and we don't know. I know things I don't share publicly, which is why I insist on this. We need to have a solid structure, a solid, impenetrable block. If this doesn't exist, there's nothing. So, keep that in mind when thinking about what's going to happen. Maria Karina? Is it possible that she might go to Oslo? If she goes to Oslo, she managed to leave the country. If she was able to leave the country, it means Maduro can't control his borders. If he can't control his borders. The same way you can leave, you can also enter. And what could have entered the country are special operations groups. What do I mean by this story? I keep insisting. If what must happen happens, it's possible that we'll see. So we go to the map. That some point in Venezuelan geography might be skipped. I keep insisting on La Orchula. There's a Russian espionage center here. This is where Chavez was held. I think it was on one of these islands, either Margarita Island or this one. This island is key. Don't overthink it. The Marines have an easy target. They can storm it. There's room to carry out the assault. There's space to get in. They've been training for this. No one trains for what we've seen all these days. Not to storm it. There's a naval assault force. Marine infantry. What is it? It's the infantry that initiates or carries out its operations from the sea to the land. Unlike regular infantry, they receive special training in which their operations are based at sea, on the water. Amphibious assault and specialized vehicles. And all of this carried out under Air Force protection. Can Nicolas Maduro halt the assault on any facility or islands of Venezuela? No, he can't. He doesn't have defensive capability. It's a lethal, deadly machine. Southern Command. Southern Command has thoroughly prepared to carry out this mission, beyond what we've seen with B-52 bombers. And this whole story, which is indeed very impressive, which really draws a lot of attention. The story may soon prove us right. Why drink Horchula? If the United States drinks Horchula, yes, it is invading a sovereign territory of Venezuela, using the excuse we already know. Nicolas Maduro will face a complicated situation. Has the empire taken a Venezuelan island? What are you going to do, Nicolas? How are you going to tell your people that you can't do anything? How are you going to tell your people that you don't have the ability? What are you going to do? Are you going to send boats full of unemployed people and almost retirees to release the Horchula for attempting? It would be a good way to see how many people are with you. Do you really send them to the sea like you usually do to release the Horchula? I don't think that'll happen. Also, Nicolas Maduro lacks an air force to defend the Horchula. They'd be shot down before the planes took off? Literally. Which could put Nicolas Maduro's regime in a very compromising situation. La Horchula, Turtle Island, which is also a very good one. The island, Turtle Island. Could it put them in a complicated situation in terms of propaganda? Maduro loses La Horchula, Maduro loses Turtle Island, Maduro loses La Blanquilla. All those lost islands. As Nicolas Maduro might respond, he would have. Nicolas Maduro would have, in this case, to launch an attack. That attack could provoke a United States response and overthrow the regime, and he knows it. Which means he has a complicated problem there. Very, very, very complicated. I think you understand. I think this topic is becoming clear. It could happen. That's the scenario I've mentioned the most. I'm probably wrong, but it's a scenario I'm suggesting. We know there's the cruiser, missile launcher, that there are ships, that there are continuous air patrols. Nicolas Maduro left only minimal staff on the island because he knows he can't defend it. Will they have evacuated the Russian espionage personnel? He'll focus on defending Caracas and little else. Maduro can't defend the whole country. He can fought fiercely in Caracas and little more. He can't do more or go further. There's nothing else. Don't think he's going to defend Maracaibo, Caracas, the southern part of the country, the eastern part of the country. Barcelona can't do it. It lacks the personnel, and that's it. So that's where the issue is. What else has happened around here? Really interesting. What has happened? It's interesting. That right now, Donald Trump is not talking about Venezuela. It's been 48 hours and he hasn't said, spoken, commented, or written anything. What does it mean? That the blow is about to come. The surprise blow is about to come? It's also been 48 hours since we've seen any of the flights we've been seeing in the last few days. While it's true, there has been a statement, an interview in which Trump has been able to insinuate that he prefers Maduro to leave peacefully rather than by force, that he prefers an orderly exit for Nicolas Maduro, an orderly transition. But time is running out. Time for everyone, for all those involved, is running out. Either it's done now or it literally won't be done. There's another important topic. The majority of the people of Venezuela. They won't accept Nicolas Maduro going into exile without facing justice. They will not accept Nicolas Maduro going to Russia without paying for his crimes. And this is also important to keep in mind if they don't capture him and put him on trial. There will be problems. There will be division. There's too much at stake, way too much at stake. We need to address this issue step by step. But it is important. It is important to start measuring our strength. We need to assess the regime's real support, not just what propaganda and videos show. Not Maduro's dances. We need to see who's in and who's out. By the way, Diosdado Cabello ordered to create a list now of those who have not signed up for the popular militias. Now Maduro wants to know who is not supporting the regime. Tremendous. It's tremendous because now, if Maduro stays in power, the story is going to get even more complicated. They're going to be more radical, more aggressive, and they won't have mercy on anyone. Which means there's no turning back now. There's no turning back. Maduro has to leave power. If not, we're going to face a very, very complicated situation. If Maduro understands that not even the United States can remove him from power, Maduro will finally do what he hasn't before. And you can't even imagine what that is. It's going to be tough, really tough, so you have to keep this very much in mind. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed this live stream we did. Thank you so much for being here live with us. I'm getting some rest since tomorrow will be tough. I have that feeling because of my experience in these things. Let's see what happens tomorrow, which is another day. Thank you so much for those super chats, for being live with us, really. Thank you so much. We'll show them here quickly, those supers. Collaborate with military strategies. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's important. Our friends are saying here, let's put your super chat here. Let's see if we can... Thanks to Andrea for those 50 memberships. Andrea, thank you so much, really. Thank you for those 50 memberships. Strategies. Can you explain, if you have time, how would the Marines arrive in Venezuelan territory? If the terrain doesn't allow it by the coast, are there transport planes for drops? Have you seen it in videos? Have you seen it there in videos? How could it be? Andrea, thank you for your excellent research and hard work. May God grant you good health, he says. 1972. Mauricio, thanks a lot for the super chat, Mauricio and Verstutis. What do you know about the small plane they used in Venezuela? It was staged. The small plane was already on the ground. Will the world be sworn in before the presidents? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that's about a show that's not going anywhere. Here. Removing Nicolas Maduro from power is what leads to results. Thank you, Colonel Cabana Alto. Loud military plane noise in Cheba, Puerto Rico. That's a good tip. Thank you very much. We'll be on alert tonight for anything that might happen. Shabatov from Entre Rios, Argentina. Ana Ortiz and Jorge, thank you both. My friend, my family, see you at the next Military Strategies show. Greetings.